Hello, I am Meshell Baker, the Chief Confidence Igniter, and this is Mondays with Meshell. Today, we're going to be exploring the topic of embracing the essence of confident leadership. Now, whether you are a emerging leader or a seasoned executive, I will be sharing insights that will inspire more impact and influence in your current leadership. So let's get to it. I want to start with the first of the three highlights I'm going to share today, and that's listen more than you speak. As a leader, the most powerful tool you have is your ability to listen. This means prioritizing understanding via pausing, restating, and ensuring that the people that you work with feel heard. Actively listening to their ideas, their concerns, the feedback they give you will foster a culture of trust and respect. Not an easy thing to do right now with so many to-dos, so many emails, so many deliverables, so many targets that are required from you as a leader. And it is everything when you have the ability to listen more than you speak. There's a tip or a fact that I want to share with you. Listening accounts for 70 to 80% of effective communication. And you cannot have clarity without effective communication. And without clarity, there is nothing but chaos. Clarity allows you to ensure that the communications that you have with the people that you're working with will put them in a space where they can be successful, or they feel like you are approachable. When there's chaos, none of this transpires. So leaders who practice active listening build stronger, more effective teams. And again, it's necessary that people feel heard. Be the last to speak. Dominating the conversation doesn't do, and cutting people off doesn't do anything but to ensure that people do not feel acknowledged and they don't feel heard, and they will be less engaged and less productive. Highlight number 2, ask insightful questions. A confident leader means that they involve guiding your team to think creatively as well as critically, and they can make informed decisions. It means that you have less work to do as a leader. So when they are approached with a problem, they have the ability to think it through and feel comfortable. They feel confident in their ability to solve and be able to explain to you why they took that or chose that path or that decision. And how you help them do that is by asking them insightful questions, because that creates in them the ability to think insightfully, critically, and creatively. If you just keep talking at people, they are never given the ability to think, and they're never given the comfort level to believe they have the capability to think. This demonstrates your trust in them and encourages their growth. So for example, questions you can ask are, what are your thoughts on this? Or what your preferred option? So if you had the opportunity to do it differently, what would you have done in this case, and why would you have done it? What do you think would help make this be a productive or successful outcome? Engage your team and give them the opportunity to share. And remember, there is no wrong when you're doing this. It's just listening and responding with, and what I hear you saying is this, what we could do is tweak or refine. When you start going, but you immediately negate what you've heard, and it puts them in a standoffish position, and they will less likely be the person to respond or open up going forward. Again, a leader who dictates answers and negates what they've heard will stifle innovation and will crush the team spirit. Your goal is to develop people who can critically and creatively problem solve on their own. Highlight number 3, own your mistakes and share the successes. Confident leaders take responsibility for their teams and their individual mistakes and shortfalls, and use these as moments as learning opportunities. They also ensure that the successes are attributed to the collective efforts to the team, not yourself. It's not about you. It's about your people. So in contrast, a leader who blames others for the failures and takes personal credit for successes erodes all trust and morale. And this is vitally important. People need to feel like they can make mistakes. So the way you do that is you allow and create a space where the team can talk about something that was challenging or difficult. And that's something I'll say. The immediately implementable tip or step that you can put in place is in your next team meeting, talk about failures and mistakes and missteps and setbacks and shortfalls. Have people share those as what did they learn and what could be done differently. Now, if one person was sharing their, say for instance, shortfall, have the other people come in and chime in and say, oh my God, you know what? I learned from that, or what I would think, or how I would do that differently. So use it as an opportunity for people to be collectively creative, and that will foster trust and morale. So, and you always want to acknowledge for the successes. However, we don't learn from success. People learn from failure, setbacks, mistakes, and shortfalls. That's how we get better. That's the growth mindset. It's not a big deal as long as you learn. I have a mentor who says, earn while you learn, right? So in conclusion, or how I want to end this, is to remind you that these three qualities are confident leadership. So when you listen more than you speak, when you ask insightful questions, and when you own the mistakes and successes, you will inspire and elevate your team and your organization. Leadership is not a title. That's a boss. A leader is not a skill. A leader is a way of being. If you have to think about how to lead, it's already too late. Leaders aren't born, they're bred. So if you're struggling with your leadership, reach out. I can help, and I know many leadership coaches, or go look for a mentor and coach on your arm. It's the responsibility that you nurture and guide the people to their fullest potential. If you think your people are a problem, you are not a leader, you are a boss. I'm going to say that again. If you think the people you have are a problem, you are not a leader, you are a boss. Leaders look at what they have, and they make do with what they have, and they find a way to leverage, optimize, and utilize everything they've been given to create the desired outcomes. I'm giving you a little tip to end this with, or some data. There's some research by a gentleman called Paul Zak. He's a professor of economics and psychology, and he found that employees in high trust organizations report 74% less stress, 106% more energy at work, and 50% higher productivity in comparison to employees in low trust organizations. And additionally, these same employees were 76% more engaged and experienced 40% less burnout. Understand, embracing the essence of confident leadership is everything, and it will elevate you and your organization to produce unprecedented results. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you next week on Mondays with Meshell. I am Meshell Baker, the Chief Confidence Igniter, transformational keynote speaker. Have a great week.